Hello, everybody. Hey, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. While we're waiting on folks to join, be sure to go to coopedup.com after I sign off, of course, to check out my website. I'm Cooped Up. If you will follow me on Instagram, I would love you dearly for that. I'm Cooped Up is my handle there. I'm just a few people shy of 2,000, so I'd love to get over 2,000 soon. And you can click the bell wherever you are watching or listening to this. To get notified when I come live, when I post something new. The audio from this also goes on all of the major podcasting platforms in case you want to listen to it while you're in the car or whatever. So you can click a bell there too. And with that, I'm going to say, hey, Mama, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So I am tired today, y'all. So here's the deal. And this happens like every 4 years. Every 2 years, I guess, now with the Olympics. What happens is I get on the couch, turn the Olympics on, and start watching them. And next thing you know, it's like 12:30 at night, and I'm watching who knows what, which is not great for me. I am normally in bed by like 9:30 person, and definitely lights out by like 10. So for me to stay up until 12:30 in the morning is a painful situation. But I stayed up late last night. It was around midnight when I went to bed last night watching what was on last night. So first it was the synchronized diving, which is so cute and hard. I cannot even imagine how hard that sport is to like perfectly like rotate your body and all that stuff. And I'm guessing that you have to be around the same body size and shape and stuff. I mean, they're all the same shape, hot, but the same, I don't know. Just the logistics of that synchronized diving situation. You know, Tom Daly and what's his diving partner's name? I can't remember it. But they got gold. Tom Daly's first gold. So watch that. I watched a bunch of the swimming. Well, there was a lot of swimming on last night. And the swimming is exciting to me, but at the same time, it feels a lot like the same thing over and over and over again because it's a lot of the same people. And they are doing, it's like 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps, whatever, depending on the length of the race. The good ones to me are when they have to do all of the different, like they have to do, is it called a medley, I think? When they have to do the different activities. Yeah, so I like that. And then there was also some of the gymnastics were on last night. Watch that. Those cutie pie Russians. So I didn't understand why the Russians were under, it was called ROC, Russian Olympic Committee, and it wasn't the Russian flags. I didn't know what that was about because obviously I hadn't heard about it. So it turns out Russia is actually not at the Olympics this year as a country, but because they were actually banned, I think, or something because of doping issues. So some of the athletes were able to qualify. I don't know the specifics. Again, this is news-ish. Were able to qualify to compete in the Olympics under a banner called the Russian Olympic Committee. So, and actually, I at first thought that was the refugee, when I first saw it, Refugee Olympic Committee or whatever, because I think there's one of those too, right? Isn't there a team of people who either are from countries that don't exist or they've been thrown out for civil rights issues or something like that, but they are competing? So that's what I thought that was. But they're cutie pie little pocket people, all those Russians who won. And then what else did I watch last night? At some point, I'm just it's so funny. You turn it on and I don't remember them breaking for the local news. Like maybe they didn't, maybe they did. And the local news is just all about the Olympics, but it was like just one after the other. And it was like binge watching. And next thing I know, it's midnight, 2.5 hours past my bedtime. Yeah. So I was a zombie this morning because it's like second night in a row I've done that. And Todd is out of town. Todd's not here to be like, hey, Cooper, it's late, right? So he kind of tells me and makes me get out of bed too. I don't have anyone to prod me that way. But I am picking him up shortly. He's on a plane at this very minute from San Francisco. And in about 3 hours, I will be picking him up at the airport. So it'll be nice to see my honey Todd again. I hope he is ready for it, though, because it is hot as balls here in Dallas. My car read earlier 117, and that's because it was parked on the street. So I'm assuming that it may have actually been 117 on the pavement. But oh my gosh, that was hot. And then I had to run an errand and go pick up something and put it in the back. I had to put the seats down in the back and then I got some chairs and put them through the back. It was so hot, y'all. I felt nauseous afterwards. Like it took me, like even the whole car ride, I did not feel right. I had it on blast and all that. And I'm drinking plenty of liquids. I'm drinking tea at the moment, but I've been drinking a lot of water, all that kind of stuff. But felt gross. And it just takes it out of you. And this is the level of heat right now where Texans are like, okay, we're going to stop making fun of all you other people for belly aching about 80s and 90s. Because we're to the point now where this is hot to everybody. Even the dogs go out and they're like, okay, we'll pee. And then they come running right back to the door. Can't even imagine being a dog because dogs don't sweat either, right? Y'all are very quiet today. Diane has no energy. I know. And I can't decide. Like I said, I was blaming it on staying up too late the last 2 nights watching the Olympics because I didn't get to watch them over the weekend. So I was catching up on Sunday night. And then last night I just went on and just watched it all, watched everything. It'll be interesting to see because I actually like let me finish that thought. So I can't tell if it's that or if it's the heat or if it's allergies or if I have COVID or what. I don't know. Doesn't everything feel like COVID? I think so. I think that's the hangover, allergies, whatever, tiredness. On the Olympics, we were talking about this at the office this morning, that so this week, I guess, is like all the inside stuff, right? So you've got the gymnastics, you've got the swimming, you've got the diving, you got all of that. I think they're starting to pick up on the basketball right now. But then like next week, I believe, is when they have a lot of the outdoor stuff, like the javelin and the shot put and the races, the running and all that kind of stuff. Monica Johnson, no, our dogs sleep all day and bark all night at each other, Monica says. Yeah, bad dogs. Mike agrees. But gosh, it is so hot here that a good air conditioning can only cool your house about 20 degrees. So if it's 110 degrees outside, it's still in the 80s, like maximum in the 80s inside the house. So I'm like, I almost didn't turn the ring light on, but it didn't look right. So it's like not adding another thing. You may be interested to know I'm getting a third Moderna shot on Friday. What's the backstory on that, Stuart? Is this like, are you scamming somebody? Are you in an experiment? Is your doctor giving it to you? Did they not do the first one the right way, the right time at the time? Interesting. I've been thinking about that because, I got mine in February. So we're pushing 6 months now on it. And I know other people who have already had breakthrough infections who are vaccinated. So much so, this is a good seg. Thank you for that. The CDC, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but the CDC has said that people who live in counties, what is the phrase, with high transmission or substantial transmission, and that constitutes 46% of counties, I'm reading it on my other screen here, are high transmission and 17 are substantial. Dallas and Tarrant counties are substantial. They are now recommending that even vaccinated people wear masks indoors again because the Delta variant is starting to fuck everything up. Damn it. Reading the tea leaves. So are you just going to go get it, Stuart? You just going to go down and just pretend you didn't get the first one? Like, how's that work? But Mom's saying it's the hot spots. Well, if you do the math on that, though, Mom, that is 63% of the counties in the United States of America. And if you look at the map, pretty much it's the northeastern counties. A lot of those don't need to get it. In the center part of the United States, it's those rural counties that have like 10 people in them, like in Kansas, Nebraska, the panhandle of Texas, where there's more rattlesnakes than people. all that kind of stuff. But then anywhere there's any sort of population, they're pretty much do it. And Stuart found a way to pay for one. I didn't want to take a government shot that I'm not allocated. Well, honestly, I don't know that you're actually taking it from anybody. People don't want it. We were talking today at the office also. My staff is pretty young. Most of them are in their mid-20s. People who work for me, like either straight out of college or a few years out of college. And they were telling me about their friends. And so everyone at my office is vaccinated, or at least they tell me that they are. I believe that they are, though, because I saw the appointments on the calendars and all that kind of stuff. But they said that their friends, their like 20-year-old friends, are all bad-mouthing people who get it, that you're lemmings, that you're going to kill your fertility, which I then read up on that. There is not any truth to that. The kernel of truth in the thing about the fertility thing is that some women, as part of their immunoresponse to the vaccine, have a really, really heavy flow. Like the lining of the uterus is just like extra juicy that time around. Gross. I can't believe I said it that way. And then there's some women even who have been in menopause or in perimenopause, where they're maybe not fully menopausal, that have had, they call it a breakthrough period. Again, a phrase that I never thought I would say. So some people are taking that to say, oh, it's messing with your reproductive system, blah, blah, blah. When all the science says it is not. It is just that is supposedly, and again, I am no expert on menstruation, so take this for what it is. Something I did not think to talk about today is that like menstruation, by like part of its thing, is kind of an immunoresponse too. You got an egg inside you, not you, if you're a woman. There's an egg. It has not been fertilized, and the body's like, okay, bye, and just flushes itself, right? So it's kind of in that same vein. But people are taking that, and then there's people who are like misconstruing and all that kind of stuff. But they said that there's a lot. And one of my employees said that, so she and her fiance are both immunized or vaccinated. Is that the same thing? I think it is. And they were at a dinner, and people were just ragging on like how stupid people are for getting it, and buying into it, and how unhealthy and all that kind of stuff. And they let them go on and on and on about it. And then at the end of dinner, they were like, just wanted to let you know that we're vaccinated. And they're like, you did? What? Oh, sorry, we didn't mean you. We meant the other thing. And then there is one trial participant, Stuart saying there's one trial participant who had a miscarriage with the Moderna, but she was actually on the placebo, so it was not that. So anyway, crazy. Jody's asking me, what is my take on Simone Biles? I have not fully formed my opinion on that, nor is my opinion necessary, but you've asked. So I think that so part of me is like, you're the leader of this group of women who have never competed. They're looking up to you, and you kind of copped out at the last minute just because you weren't maybe doing what you thought you were going to do and all of that. And again, if you're just joining, I'm kind of telling the both sides of my mind on the Simone Biles thing. So part of me is like, that's not what a leader does, especially a leader of a team sport. A leader of a team sport sucks it up, gets it done. And it was just one more night of competition, right? So sucks it up. And they ended up getting the silver instead of the gold, which they may have gotten. I don't know if she had performed what they would have done or whatever. So that. The other thing is mental health is important. People have to keep that in mind and all of that kind of stuff. Although I will say, again, working around a lot of people in their 20s, I think mental health, people may be clumping too many things into that category. Like, I feel like self-care and mental health are these buzzwords that are being used too liberally and too, like, sometimes life is just not great. Sometimes things are hard. Sometimes all that. It doesn't mean you have to, like, I don't know. This is me sounding like, this is kind of like me sounding like, back in my day, we walked uphill both ways. So anyway, yeah. I am one of those things where I am like, I don't. Some people are like, oh, I admire her so much for taking a stand about it, and I'm like, maybe not. Maybe she's been struggling all along, and she was like, okay, I'm going to get them this far, because I think they used all four of her scores last night, if I recall, and they get them to at least where they have a standing and where there's. I mean, they were guaranteed pretty much a gold or a silver, or even if they walked outside and picked their butts on the mat. But so maybe that was her intention, and in which case, that's a good intention. But I don't know. So, yeah, so, crazy. By the way, on the mask thing though, I happened to order, because I don't know what's going to be with school this year. They've not officially announced it. Although I'm assuming that masks will be needed because most of our school is pre-K through 8th grade school, and only the 7th and 8th graders are even eligible age-wise for the COVID vaccine. So I'm assuming that we're going to be mostly masked up. And even though both of my children are vaccinated, Claire, we held her back a year in kindergarten, and so she's a little bit older than the other 6th graders. But so ordered new masks today because I am not sure what's happened to all of ours. I had them in a basket. Some of them are still there. Some of them are not. Some of them I'm like, ugh, don't really want to wear that. And I actually ordered some black KN95 masks. I have, and we're traveling on Saturday, and so I'm going to have to wear one also. And like hell, I'm going to wear a fabric mask. I did that last time, and I thought I was going to die on the plane. Because I already get really hot on airplanes anyway. So I wanted the K95 one because they kind of tint out a little bit and stand over your face, you know? And I got them in black because that's chic and stylish. Plus, if they get a little stain on them or something, you don't notice it as bad. But conversely, I may need to be a little bit more cognizant of how often I wear the mask. I know they say don't rewear them, but I am not going to throw away a mask, a KN95 mask, every time I wear it. I'm just not going to do it. It's going to be a few days at the very least that I'm wearing it. So, Kyle or Aaron, are you saying, oh my God, because of all demonstration talk? I'm assuming that that's what that's about. And Stuart's saying they still wear masks everywhere here. Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to start doing it too. Just when I was getting used to not wearing a mask. Thanks, Delta. We are in our final countdown. School starts 2 weeks from Monday, and so the kids are leaving, and they're going to be gone the 2 weeks. They get back the Saturday before school starts. So suddenly I'm like, oh shit, I need to check that y'all got all the stuff. Do you need backpacks? Do you need new shoes? Because their feet just like grew overnight. Do you need masks? Do you need an extra charger for your laptop? I'm looking at my list here. Do we know if your uniform shirts fit? And it's actually kind of late to order those because they all have to have an embroidered patch on them. So suddenly I'm like, running around. Oh, juicy. That's what made you. That kind of grossed me out too. I'm not going to lie. So doing that. Is everyone else's kids starting on August is it the 16th, something like that? I assume so. I saw Atlanta is starting a week from Monday on, like, Georgia schools, I think, start on August the 5th, which is what we did when I was a kid. We started, when I was early as a kid, we started like right after Labor Day, and then they switched it into August, and then we were starting increasingly like at the beginning of August, and then I think they passed another law saying that you can't start after a certain or before a certain date. Of course, our kids are in private school. They can start whenever they want. They can start 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon if they wanted to. But that's not happening. I've been having the weirdest dreams. Like the dreams, I've told you about if I drink and then take CBD before bed, I have very vivid dreams, right? Like very realistic, not scary necessarily, just like super realistic. Well, I've gotten used to those and I sleep well through them and all of that now. But the last few nights, any of y'all know about dream interpretation? So the last few nights, my dreams have had me, I've been wearing braces in my dreams. And it's not dreams, they're not about the braces. It's not about my teeth at all. It just happens to be in the dream that I have braces. And occasionally it comes up, like I'll be like, I can't eat corn on the cob because I got braces on. Because yes, I'm having a dream about eating corn on the cob. That's probably a whole other thing. But the like, I wonder what that means, because I've always heard that dreams about teeth are stress dreams. If your teeth are falling out, and I've had those where my teeth get loose and I'm having trouble keeping them in and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's the number one stress dream there is. This is not that dream, because this is, again, in the dream, like, I'm not freaking out about my teeth. I just have braces, just like no big deal. Monica says I'm pregnant. I don't know how that would. Oh, Jesus, are you there, Jesus? Because it'd be either Jesus or a taco baby lately. There's no way I'm pregnant. Take that for what it means. Suzanne's son, Riley, high school. Wow. Girl, I remember when you got married, and then I remember when you were pregnant. No, that means we're getting old. No, I don't like that. I refuse to accept that answer, Suzanne. So what do you think wearing braces in dreams means? I'll have to look that up. Last thing I have on my list, and I'm a little short on time here. Update your passwords, people. Like, it's getting worse and worse. I have a friend today who all of her Facebook pages that she manages got her password sometime, got into Facebook, they got into her pages, they changed, they went into the Facebook pages, not her actual personal profile, but like a page, like business pages that she manages it. They changed a bunch of shit and they took her off as an admin, so she can't access it anymore. And it's going to take forever for Facebook to give that back to her. So it's important to change your passwords. I personally, this is not a sales pitch, I'm just giving you some advice here. I use a password manager called Dashlane. It integrates into my Google Chrome and makes sure that you're not using the same password over and over. You're not supposed to use the same password for anything. That's a very hard one. And it keeps track of all of those. So that is what I use. But can you imagine Suzanne, who's a fellow PR person? So they got in, knocked her out as an admin, and then started posting a bunch of phishing stuff. Not phishing, but like trying to scam people out of stuff. It's crazy. There's her name written all over it still. So update your passwords. And also, if you're in Facebook, make sure you turn on that third-party authentication that you have to, in order to sign into your account. If it's a new device or something, you have to get a text, or you have to get an email or a code generator or something like that. Like, it's very, very important that you do that. That'll keep you, well, it won't keep you. It doesn't guarantee you're not going to get hacked, but it might just keep some honest people honest. I use one called Dashlane, Suzanne. I'll throw a link, because I think I have a link that you can use that if you use, let me see if I can jump into that real quick. Because if you use it, then I think you get something for free. Let's see, copy. Okay, copy. I am throwing it in the comments right now, is Dashlane. And if you use that, I think you get something for free. And I know I do. But it's very easy to use. Todd and I use it. We have a family plan. So we pay one subscription fee. We pay for the premium. We pay one subscription fee. And then like Todd, me, and then ultimately the kids will all be able to be on the same membership, which is different. They're not connected, but we can share stuff with each other and all of that, which is very good. But it is very, very scary to have your password stolen, especially, again, if they get in and they kick you out and then they've got control of your stuff and it's as if you never owned it before. That's the worst part. Also, iPad and iPhones, I believe it is. I saw this morning that there is an emergency update. So go into, if your phone has not already updated, go into your general settings and like update your software. There's a security glitch in it. That wasn't a big deal, but suddenly someone has figured out how to exploit it. I sound like one of those people who are like trying to scare old people. Actually, I sound like a commercial during Wheel of Fortune, trying to scare the old people. Jody's saying my CBD dreams bring back so many people from my past. Interesting. Are these people that you want to hear from your past? Are these like happy memories? Are these horrific memories? Stuart is saying, I think I'm just going to change my name to my social security number. Oh, what could go wrong with that? The other thing that Dashlane does, and this didn't mean to turn into a Dashlane commercial, is it will let you know if any of the passwords that it has stored for you, if they were involved in a security breach. So they track like I had one where Spotify got hacked and all of the passwords, somehow it knew a bunch of stuff because of I think it's because I used the same password for Spotify as I'd used for other things. And it associates your email address with the password, and that it was involved in a hack. And it was like, you need to change all of these for that. So it's good to have. It even has a dark web monitor on it. I don't look at that very often because that actually kind of freaks the shit out of me. If there's a dark web, which I assume there actually is, Stuart, you might know about this, and they've got my information on there, I'm not sure I want to know exactly what everyone knows about me, because that just, I don't know, that freaks me out. That just seems like bad people are going to be bad, and there's no reason for me to know exactly what that's about. So I've only looked at that a couple times. Anyway, I use colorful language in my password combinations. I'm running out of dirty words. You know what's so funny is I actually have heard that, like I had a friend who had, his passwords were always famous movie quotes. So like, the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plane. That was literally his Wi-Fi pass. I remember that explicitly because or specifically rather, because I had to use his password or his Wi-Fi once. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plane was that. And then another one was something else. Now, I don't know if that would work anymore because they all seem to need numbers and letters and stuff. Monica's asking why Stuart would know. I feel like Stuart knows everything about like technology and cybersecurity and all that stuff. I don't know why I think that. Stuart, why do I think that about you? Because that's not what you do for a living. I know you do something techie, but oh, good Lord. That's quite a password. That is the thing, by the way. When you do use Dashlane, it gives you a bunch of like nonsensical passwords. I'm sure that says something if I Aoife Ecker. Yeah. So they're almost impossible to memorize and write down. So you have to do one password that is memorized that accesses you to the system, but you don't use that for anything else. So anyway, so do that. Update all your business. Okay, well, that's all I've got today. Let me see if I missed anything. Y'all stay cool. It is so hot. I started my career in technology and now I am in quantitative finance. So I probably do know about the dark web. Yes. Also, Stuart, I joke, is my favorite ex-boyfriend. When Stuart and I dated for like that 15 minutes that we dated, maybe a little bit longer than 15 minutes, you were studying to be a mortician, I believe. Does that sound right? Why is that? I have that in my mind, Stuart, that you were studying to be a mortician when you and I dated, and that was weird. That's a joke. I don't know what you're talking about there. But anyway, a virologist, not a mortician, a virologist. That would actually come in handy today, being married to a virologist. But anyway. Alrighty. That's a joke. No, I joke. You are my favorite ex-boyfriend. I say I joke because it's just a funny thing to say. It makes people laugh when I say it. And even the kids know who you are. I'm like, oh, my favorite ex-boyfriend. Oh, Stuart? Yes. Yeah. I caught on. Remember, 20 seconds go by between the time I say the words and y'all hear them. It's Facebook Live-ish. And so sometimes I've moved on in my brain. And sometimes I just say things and I don't think about them. So, alrighty, well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watch this. This is my therapy. It's very cathartic. This is about my mental health, y'all. So, it has nothing to do with just having an audience every day. It's my mental health. Carrie will be here tomorrow. So, she will be on tomorrow. And I would just, you were trying to find the unsubscribe button. Yeah, Thank you. Alrighty. Well, I love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow with Carrie at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say? Talk to you later. Bye.